So today I will show you the books that I read, and first of all, I read self-help books, and I recently started reading this one. I bought it about 2 or 3 days ago. I always wanted to buy 48 Laws of Power, but the concise version, because the language is a bit difficult and I don't think I'll understand the full version. I also started reading this book, A Manual for Living. Basically covers everything. Alright. I have read Hyperfocus. I have also read this one, Eat That Frog with Brian Tracy. I also read Atomic Habits. It was my first ever non-fiction self-help English book that I have ever read. I read it about 3 months ago in May, in the beginning of May, I think, and it really inspired me. When I started reading this book, I finally started taking action toward my goal of becoming an entrepreneur, which is great. So I usually read in the morning. So I basically wake up at about 5:30, not all the time, but I usually try to wake up at this time. And then starting from 6, I read for an hour. Then I go to school. I usually read about 10 to 15 pages a day. Of course, I would like to read more than 15 pages, but I can't. When I read, I really try to concentrate, you know? I really want to give all of the information. So that's why I read very slow. I also, basically when I read, I also have a, how do you call this thing? A notebook. So here how it looks like. And basically, I just write about every single book that I read about. For example, this is the first one, and I write lots of notes, so I don't forget stuff, basically. And the last book that I have read is this one, The Chimp Paradox. I borrowed it from my school library. A really nice book, teaches you about your mind. Though I have to start implementing the ideas from it, because it's quite tricky, you know, to implement all of the things. I basically know everything. Just have to memorize some things, some other things. Yeah. So, that's kinda it. That's it. These are all of my books that I have bought. So, I currently read this one and this one. Then, I'll read this one. I should read this one, because I'm in school right now, right? And I'd rather have nice grades, average grades, let's say like this. These two books, these were my first self-help books. I bought them in Ukraine, though I didn't read them at all. Because if we look at the... First of all, I don't know, it's kind of boring. Secondly, if you look, well, it's really poorly printed. And it's just... I don't like it. I can't remember how it's called in English. But yeah, that's it. I don't really know what else I can say this. So put thumbs up and subscribe as usual.